Hi, good morning. Welcome back to this lecture series on basic English grammar. Today we shall be covering verbs. So let's begin. The next topic that we are going to cover today is verb. Verb is a word or group of words that indicates action or state of being in a sentence. It is very important, rather preliminary, to understand verbs for one's understanding and usage of tenses, since tenses are form of verbs signifying present, past, and future. Now, we are going to discuss here 11 kinds of verbs. Now, we'll be discussing them again in groups of two. First, action verbs, and two, stative verbs. Now, action verbs are those which denote some physical action, some external action, like to do something, dance, talk, ignore, bake, cook, and many others, various others. Now, second, stative verbs. Stative verbs are those which denote some state of being, some emotion, some internal state, right? So, stative verbs, examples, love, want, and have. Coming to the next two kinds of verbs, transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. Transitive verbs are those which are accompanied or which are followed by a direct object. For example, by now you know what is an object. So examples, Leonardo ate a delicious pepperoni pizza. So ate is an action verb, doing something, eating. So Leonardo ate becomes the verb and it is followed by a direct object. So it is a transitive verb here. The wealthy man bought 3 paintings. So buying, to buy, is a verb and it is followed by an object. 3 paintings are the object. So transitive verbs are those which are followed by a direct object. On the contrary, intransitive verbs are those which are not accompanied by a direct object. Examples, aeroplanes fly. So to fly is a verb, but you do not have an object after that. It is not followed by an object. Likewise, the children slept while the adults worked or meditated, any of these. So after the verb like slept or worked, all of these are not accompanied by any direct object, so these become intransitive verbs. Now coming to the fifth kind of verbs, linking verbs. Linking verbs are stative verbs that link the subject of the sentence to the description of the subject, that is, the subject complement. Examples, she is a great dancer. So the subject here is she, the main thing being talked about, as we've done in the previous session. So she is the subject and the description of the subject is that she is a dancer. So linking the subject to the subject complement is a verb which is termed or which is classified as linking verb. Is here is a linking verb. Likewise, you seem a very positive person. So you is the subject and the subject complement is very positive person. So linking the two is seem. So it becomes a linking verb. Now coming to helping verbs, which are also called auxiliary verbs. Sometimes, rather a lot of times, you have two verbs in a sentence. One is the main verb and one is a helping verb which links the main verb to the entire sentence and gives it its proper meaning. Like be, have, can, will, and their forms, various forms, are all helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. Examples, she can make beautiful cakes. So, making, to make, is the main verb in this sentence, but the meaning of the sentence is unclear if you do not use can. So, can becomes a helping verb, not the main verb, the secondary verb, but also important, equally important rather. So, the helping verb gives the sentence the entire meaning by helping the main verb. So can is the helping verb in this sentence. Second, he is going to London. To go, the continuous form of to go, going, is the main verb in the sentence and it is being helped by the helping verb is. Okay, next form of verbs are modal verbs. So modal verbs are those which hint or denote some ability, some necessity, some possibility or permission. So, can I do this? It might rain tomorrow. You must adhere to norms. In all these sentences, other than the main verb, other than the main thing being talked about, you have verbs which denote some possibility, which denote some necessity. So can, may, might and must are modal verbs. Now coming to regular and irregular verbs. Regular verbs are those which use ed or en as a suffix in their past forms. Like jump is a regular verb, past form of it will be jumped. Eat is a regular verb. In its past participle form, it will be eaten. So try is a regular verb. It becomes tried in the past form. Refuse becomes refused. So all these verbs which will take ed or en in their past forms as a suffix will be termed as regular verbs. On the contrary, irregular verbs will be those which do not take ed or en in their past and past participle forms. Like be, it becomes am, is, are, was, were, be, being and been. But all of these do not use ed or en. Like eat becomes ate. Eaten, although is a regular verb, but ate is not a regular form. So eat that ways is both regular and irregular. So fly becomes flew and flown. Catch becomes caught and caught. So in all these examples, these are irregular verbs. Now coming to phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are those wherein you combine a verb with a preposition and the meaning becomes very different from that of the original verb. For example, put up. Put up means staying somewhere. So where are you putting up? If I use this. So put up is a phrasal verb and it means staying. Where are you staying? Next, put up with. I am using the main verb put and then preposition. So put up with is to maybe bear someone. So I can't put up with him. So that means I am unable to tolerate him. Next, talk down. So talk is the verb which is used combined with a preposition to make phrasal verbs. So talk down means to convince someone against some decision. So I talked down my manager against maybe a letter, against maybe some decision. Show off. Show off means when you are boasting something. The last kind of verbs that we are going to do are infinitives. Infinitives are not exactly verbs, but they are derivatives of verbs. When you use a to with a verb, with a definite verb, it becomes an infinitive form of the verb, like to play, to cook, and to do. That will be all for today. The last time I left you with 3 words. So now I'm going to describe to you the meaning of these words. Cautious means when you ask someone to be careful. So be cautious while crossing the road. Conscious is a state of your mind, refers to your state of mind. So conscious and unconscious. She was conscious even after getting drunk. Third word, conscience. Conscience refers to your inner thing, which tells you, rather which differentiates between the right and the wrong. So my conscience did not allow me to lie to my teacher. For today, I am leaving you with 3 more words. One is accept, and expect. Do find out the meanings. Thank you.